You see, I gotta cut on this walker so I can see how long this is gonna take. Cause I'm at a different area right now. So I gotta get my coordinates down. Hold up. Start.
3, 1.
All right. I got my coordinates down now. So I'll be able to see, because I'm at a different area right now. Thank God for the phone, Fitbit, all this technology. I get to track how long this run is from this area that I'm at. Yes, I switched areas. So I gotta, track it. Appreciate y'all for joining me. I'm your host, the one and only Stock Sniper. Out and about, doing what I do, which is staying in my lane, minding my own business, marathon training. Yeah. See, when you have a plan like what I got, you ain't got time to be playing. I got a plan, and I ain't got time to play. I got a marathon that's coming up in January. So I'm training, I'm building businesses. I got things going on. So I don't have time for entertainment as much. I don't have time for entertainment as much as I used to, right? My entertainment, football, stuff like that. But as I've been cutting back on watching YouTube channels, right? Because I really don't have time, between marathon training, between family life, between building businesses. And yes, YouTube is a business, because I added another business, which is content creation. So right now, this is what I'm doing. I am training, right? And I am trying to find the best way to master my craft, which is content creation, right? So I got a content room now, right? Which I haven't brought in any collabs on my content room. So, I mean, I'm working with this content creation. But basically, I'm starting from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So and once I learn, once of something, I go all in, right? So I don't really have time for the bullshit entertainment, as I'm gonna call it that. I don't have time for the bullshit entertainment right now. Now, I will dib and dab in it here when I can, but I'm training for a marathon. 1, I'm trying to master this YouTube content creation. 2, I got a content room. 3, I'm day trading. I'm trying to find other investments. 4, I got a family life. I'm a grandpa. You know what I'm saying? And all these other things that I got going on. I got a daughter that's just starting to go to University of Texas right now, hook 'em horns. So, I mean, I'm over 50 years old, So YouTube entertainment is not my all in be all. I mean, I check it out when I ain't got nothing else to do, right? So we got to think about things, right? As far as putting priorities in order. See, I'm a business, right? I am a business, and I'm steady adding different streams of revenue to me, which is a business. And it takes time to learn this content creation. It takes time to learn certain things. If you've been on this channel for a while, you see that I've changed a lot on my YouTube. I'm starting to Kick. I'm starting TikTok. I'm starting all these other different streams, right? I'm trying to learn how to connect all these streams, the streaming platform, to a streaming service so I can go live on all platforms at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on YouTube, guys. I'm not on YouTube to be entertained by bullshit and bubblegum. I'm not on YouTube for that, bro. I'm on YouTube to learn and add. See, YouTube, and I say this all the time. So if anybody ever be watching my videos, and when I go live or whatever, you know I say this all the time. YouTube and the internet is for two things only: learning and teaching. That's what it's for. Learning and teaching. And if you been accustomed to coming on this channel a lot, you know that's what we do over here. We learn and we teach and we worry about what's going on in real life, right? With minimum entertainment. Now, if I'm paying attention to different platforms that are not in that element, that means that I ain't got nothing else to do, right? But the thing is, that's my downtime. On my up, on my main time, I'm focusing on what I need to be doing as a grandpa, as a father, as somebody that's running in a marathon at 52 years old. I'm focusing on building health, wealth. I'm focusing on different things. You know, so if you don't see me or if I don't come around, that just means I'm out here putting the work in. That's all that means, which everybody should be doing. And I said this at the end of 2024. So again, if you be around me in real life or on this internet, you understand at the end of 24, I said one thing and one thing only: that it's time to get the business. It's time to throw away the bullshit in the bubble gum. It's time to use these 4 or 5 years of the change of the administration to do what? Build on whatever you got going on, to go from 0 to 100. Not fast, but slow. With not only with your finances, but also with your health, your relationships. You know what I'm saying? Your relationships with everybody. Your relationship with your mom, your dad, kids, grandkids. In my case, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot going on. So, I mean, if you feel as that I'm not around, right? That only means one thing. Please understand what that means. That I'm out putting the work in. That I'm working. That I'm spending time with family. In my entertainment, if it's gonna be any entertainment, it's gonna be sports. It's gonna be football. It's gonna be UFC. That's what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a lot on my plate. That's what's going on. So I appreciate y'all for joining me, man. I am your host, the one and only Stock Sniper. And I'm just putting the work in. I'm just minding my own, I'm staying in my own lane, and I'm minding my own business. I got a marathon that I'm getting ready for, which is coming up in January. You know what I'm saying? And every single day, I got to work towards that along with everything else that I got going on. That's why it's very important to write down what you plan on doing in the day. And guess what? It's not on my plan. It's being entertained by the YouTube streets, bro. That is not on my plan. My plan is to exercise, get on this internet and work and pay attention to the stock market, see what's going on in life, right? Pay attention to my family. I got grandkids, I got kids. I got a daughter that's starting at the University of Texas right now. That's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. You know, and I would tell any and everybody, get your priorities in order. You know what I'm saying? Get your priorities in order. Some things you got to eliminate. Some things you got to eliminate. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to bullshit and bubblegum on shit that really don't matter. You got to eliminate that if you want to strive, if you want to see your life get better, if you want to see your health get better, you want to see your situation change, right? You gotta put things in order. It's called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's called a plan, right? A proper plan, a real plan, a foundational plan. And yes, when it comes to building a foundation, you got to eliminate the bullshit in the bubble gum. I say that all the time. It's all about a earn. spend less, and make proper investments. And yes, that includes cutting out stuff that ain't going, cutting out things that are not going to elevate your situation. See, a lot of us be stuck in the same situations because of the moves we making and the things that we worry about. Sometimes we worry about the wrong thing, right? You be wondering why you stuck in a certain situation. It's because we be worrying about the wrong thing. In other words, priorities are not in order. And we'll substitute something else for something else, not understanding that the move is not, that's not the right move. It's not. You got to emulate some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And focus on reality. And the reality is that the less drama, the less mess and gossip, the less paying attention to things that don't matter, and pay attention to the things that really do matter. Listen to the OG. You know what that's gonna do? It's gonna shift. It's gonna shift elements in your life. It's gonna shift a vibration, not only in your mind, but inside of your body and inside of your soul. Yes, vibrations is real. And just a bullshit vibration by just paying attention to things that really don't matter and paying attention to it heavily will throw you off your course, will throw off your whole transaction, your whole transition in life. And then you be wondering why things are not working. Take it from the OG. Then you be wondering why things ain't working out right. When I learned that and figured that out, guess what happened? My whole life changed. That's the reason why I'm 52 years old and I've been retired for almost 5 years. That's why. Why? Because I put the work in and I put down the proper steps and I put it in direct order, thinking about the order that each step is in and eliminating the bullshit in the bubble gum. That's all it is to it. And sometimes people won't understand that, guys. This is a message that I'm putting out there. Sometimes people won't understand when you're doing things differently in life. Your best friend, your mom, your dad, you know what I'm saying, your homeboys who you used to hang with and kick it with, when you're not coming around as much anymore, you know what I'm saying, they don't understand the process. You know what I'm saying? That's when you got to explain to them the process, which is nothing wrong with that. I didn't understand the process as well. See, sometimes, guys, when you are trying to go to the next level, because it's levels to this shit, man. When you're trying to go to the next level, you got to eliminate some things, man. You got to eliminate going to some places. You got to eliminate doing some things. Eliminate going to the club every Saturday. God, he used to be in the club every Saturday night. I don't see him. He don't come to the club with us no more. Man, I used to see him all the time at the movies. Man, he don't come over there no more. Man, I used to see him all the time. He used to come to my house every single day. He don't come over here no more. Man, why he don't come no more? No, it's not that I don't fuck with you no more. Excuse my language. That means that I got other things going on and I put a proper plan out there and eliminate things that don't really matter. Me going to the club don't matter. Me going to your house and shooting the shit, it does not matter. Right? When you're trying to build something, it don't matter. You spend more time on building your business, building your relationships, raising your kids, making sure your daughter who goes to University of Texas is got everything in order, the things that she needs, right? Hook 'em horns, right? It's August, guys. It's August. Things are happening. The beginning of the summer. Kids are going to college. People are building businesses. People are trying to get their health together. It's things that's going on, right? So, I mean, that's the thing that we have to pay attention to. Those are the things that we got to pay attention to, right? So I appreciate everybody for commenting in the comment section. This is the best chat room on YouTube by far. I haven't answered that many comments right now because I'm actually explaining something. I'm speaking something because once we got to realize, guys, is when you make a different move, when you're trying to do something better, right? And you realize, well, hey, maybe I should slack up from being over here as much. Maybe I should slack up from going to the club as much. You know, people are going to wonder why, right? So you got to explain to them that, hey, man, I'm sticking to my plan. I tighten up on my backstroke. And tightening up on my backstroke means that I gotta eliminate some things, man. That meaning that I gotta maybe not, if I'm coming to your house every Saturday drinking beer and smoking cigars, well, maybe I gotta stop doing that every Saturday. Maybe I only do it once every 3 months instead of doing it every day or every week. You know, that just mean that life is putting me on a different path. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, guys. Content creation is not easy, bro. For somebody that's older, that's just now coming to it, I'm just a sophomore. I'm just a sophomore, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, in other words, I'm still in school. I'm still learning, and that takes a lot. You know, when you start wanting to make content, you know what I'm saying? And the first thing is to try to help people and to help yourself, right? That's what the content creation is all about. It's entertaining, less entertainment, but more of helping people and building relationships. That's what it's about. It's not about mess and gossip. It's not about drama. It's not about arguing and going back and forth. It's not about none of those things, guys. You know, and sometimes we human, we get sucked up into, you know, the mess, you know, because it's entertainment, we get sucked into it. But the thing is, when you start putting together a plan, when you understand that, you know, you got a business that you are building, you have to, you know, you got to eliminate the bullshit. That's all it is to it. Yes, this is season 3 of the walk down, and that's what it is. It's not gonna be a long one because I'm starting to cut down these long walks like I usually do. But basically, you know, I'm just staying in my own lane and I'm minding my own business. You know, I appreciate everybody that rock with me. I appreciate everybody that come by and stop and holler at me. This is the best chat room on YouTube by far. You know, the best people are in this chat room. And I know that for a fact. How do you know that? Because I've been in a lot of chat rooms. You know, as far as my on YouTube, like I say, I use it, I learn. When I'm going to channels, I'm actually finding something that I can learn from. I'm learning. I'm not just worrying about the bullshit in the bubble gum. I'm actually trying to learn something. What can I get out of this? What can I get out of that? What can I get out of this? And what I've learned is that this chat room right here is the best chat room on YouTube. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, you got to subscribe to the channel. You got to hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? And come join us in the chat. Right now, this is the walk down. All I'm doing, you know, I run 4 miles. I'm training for a marathon, like I've been saying. And now this is the second part of the training, which is I'm walking. And I'm in my own lane, and I'm minding my own business. Right? That's what I'm doing in this 105-degree heat. And that's another thing. When you train in the heat, man, it's draining. You know what I'm saying? So I got a lot going on. To be honest with you, just training for a marathon is draining. It's draining. So forgive me if I don't come to your house that much. Forgive me if I'm not on your YouTube channel as much. Forgive me if I'm not calling you as much as I used to the last 5 or 6 months. Man, I got a plan. I got things that I'm doing, man. So, you know, I got things that I'm doing. And and you know, but I love and I appreciate y'all, man. Everybody that feels some type of way, you know, I love and I appreciate y'all, man. Even my own mama asked me, what's going on, man? I ain't heard from you in a while, you know? But she already understand the process. You know what I'm saying? The process of sometimes you got to be by yourself when you're working on things, because sometimes people are a distraction, man. It's easy to get distracted, right? So sometimes you got to isolate, you know what I'm saying? And you got to put the work in. I'm out here running. I don't need nobody out here running with me, bro. I don't need nobody tagging along. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Why? Because I'm focusing on what I need to be doing. I don't need no distractions. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here by myself, putting my work in. I got my plan in order, like I said, and I'm serious about my plan. If you've been on the channel, this walk down happens every single day, Monday through Friday. So I've been doing it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm on. You know, and if you use the blueprint, right? Use the blueprint, and it'll change your life because it changed mine. Because you got to think, okay, what things that really matter? I got three things. I got three things that matters. And if it's not inside of those three things, it got to go, right? That's how it goes, guys. You pick three things, maybe four, depending on what's on your plate. But you can't be having a whole lot of stuff on your plate with a whole bunch of things that don't matter, right? It's just like when you're eating food, you got your protein, you got your spinach. You got your protein, you got your vegetables, and you might have some rice on there or whatever. Well, you don't need to have a cake. You don't need to have a pie. That's too much on your plate. So what you do, you eliminate the things that you don't need. That's all it is, guys. That's all it is. And it's three things. And if it don't fall inside of those three things, guess what? It gotta go. That's all it is to it. I'll catch up with you later, homie. But I got three things that I'm focusing on. That's how I was able to retire before I turned 50 years old. I eliminated the things that didn't matter. I talk about that all the time on my channel. I talk about that all the time. It's easy. All you gotta do is change the way you think, change your mind. Whenever I realized that smoking Black and Miles wasn't on the plate no more, guess what? I eliminated it. Once I realized the club wasn't on a plate no more, guess what? I eliminated it. Once I realized tricking off with these hoes, tricking with women, paying women, going to the strip club, excuse me, chat, but that's what it is. Once I realized that I was going nowhere with that, guess what I did? I stopped doing it. I went to the three things that really matter plan. That's all I did. And I stuck to those three things. And if I did have another thing, like I said earlier, it's either football or MMA. I can't go away from those things. Why, Stock Sniper? Because I've been embedded with football and mixed martial arts my whole entire life. In other words, I'm very disciplined. So MMA and football has to come, and it coincides with the three things that I'm talking about right now. It goes with them three. Anything that's outside of them three, if it don't apply, it gotta fly. And guess what happened, guys? When I applied that to my life some years ago, guess what happened? My whole life changed. My whole life changed. I went from 0 to 100. Not fast, but slow. That's exactly what happened. So forgive me if I don't come around. Forgive me if you don't see me at the club. Forgive me if you don't see me over there on MLK on that crate. Forgive me. Because guess what? Understand that I got a plan. And if you put your plan together, then you'll realize you don't have time. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. You don't have time. Why? Because you're too busy focusing on your lane and your business. That's the reason why I do this every day. It is a subliminal message. I stay in my own lane and I mind my own business. That's what it's called. And guess what, guys? When you stay laser focused like that, when you stay laser focused like that, guess what? Then you'll be able to run 6 or 8 miles a day. Then you'll be able to retire at 50 years old like I did. You'll be able to invest in the companies that you know, like, and trust. Why? Because your mind will be focused on that. then you'll be able to ride around and buy wholesale properties and flip them. Why? Because you focused on that. But if I'm focusing on the club, I'm focusing on the butt naked, I'm focusing on this, that, and the third, guess what? I'm not gonna be paying attention to the favorite companies that I know. I'm not gonna be riding around paying attention to the wholesale houses, to the bandos. That ain't gonna even be on register in my mind. I'm riding about 4 or 5 bandos, and my mind is not clicking to let's see who owned the house. Right? Why? Because your mind is cluttered with shit that don't even matter. That's what it is. I learned when I figured that out, guess what? It changed my life. It changed my life, guys. And you know, and my grandpa told me that. He said, son, when you start making a different turn, right, and you don't go to the projects no more, now you're going to the YMCA instead of going to the projects, people gonna wonder why you ain't coming to them projects no more. People gonna wonder why you ain't coming around them no more. People gonna wonder why they gonna think that they done did something wrong because they got a guilty conscience. They're gonna be wondering why you ain't coming around no more. You know what I'm saying? Their mind ain't gonna comprehend because their mind is so cluttered to what's really going on that they ain't gonna even be paying attention to the moves. They ain't gonna even be paying attention to the moves, right? Which is fine. That's why I say we got to change the way we think. Clear out that mind. Change your subconscious mind, right? And when you change your subconscious mind, everything else will fall into place. Take it from the OG. Everything will fall into place, right? Everything will fall into place. So I had to put that out there, right? Because I hear people been asking about me. You know what I'm saying? So not just on the internet, but in real life too. You know? But you know, the people that's asking about me, I rock with y'all. I do. You know what I'm saying? But y'all gotta understand, I'm a different type of person. You know, I'm a different type of person. You know what I'm saying? And I also understand that type of mindset. Why, Stock Sniper? Because I used to be in that type of mindset myself. And I had to realize, you know what I'm saying, that people change people, places, and things, bro. Just like I moved up out the hood. People was wondering why I moved up out of the hood and came over here to this beautiful area. It's called changing people, places, and things. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you gotta change your environment. Sometimes you gotta change the situation that you are in. That's why you don't see me on MLK no more. That's why you don't see me over there no more. That's why you don't see me in them hoods no more. Because I made the decision. I made the decision that I wanted to take my life to a whole nother level. And once I decided to change and put my life to a whole nother level, guess what I did? I moved to a whole different area code. That's what I did. So I understand. You know what I'm saying? I really, really do. Cause that happened to me in real life. You know, people, golly, you don't call me no more. You don't come by no more. Bro, I got things I got going on, man. You know what I'm saying? I got things that I got going on. You know what I'm saying? I got kids and grandkids. You know what I'm saying? I'm 52 years old. You know, life, it's a turning point in life. See, so many times, so many people, they 50, but they act like they 20. They 40 and they act like they 20. They 60 and they act like they 20. Now, this is not the, no. This ain't that and that ain't this. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we got to focus on, guys. You know, we have to focus on. It's 2020, it's 2025. You know what I'm saying? We got to focus on what's happening right now. And what's happening right now is catch this, it is a wealth transfer that's happening right now. It's a wealth transfer. So like I said at the end of 24, and when 2030 get here, I do not want hear nobody hollering about the rich getting richer and the poor getting poor. I mean, you see, what you got to understand is it's a mindset. If you understand that the wealthy are getting more wealthier, then okay, you need to put the 3-step plan that I'm talking about and stop worrying about the bullshit in the bubble gum and work the steps of the plan. That way, when 5 years from now, you be in a whole different income. You won't be worrying about the rich getting rich and the poor getting poor. Because guess what? By the time 5 years come, you should have went from, in 2025, you should have went from poor to the middle class, from the middle class to rich. Now, everybody's rich and wealth is different. You have to establish what rich and wealth is to you. So, yeah. But a lot of times, it's our mindset, right? It's our mindset. Like they worrying about why I don't come over there no more. Why you don't see me over here no more. Why you don't see me in the club no more. Guess what? That's the wrong thing to be focusing on. It's 2025, man. It's 2025. I'm not focusing on who come around me and who don't come around me. I'm not focusing on that. Why? Because I got the 3 things that I really need to be focusing on, and if you come around me or not, it don't matter. I'm not even thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? See, we got to get to the point where we're actually focusing on the things that don't matter, especially if we ain't got nothing. I said it. Especially if you ain't got nothing. If you ain't got nothing, if I ain't got nothing, I'm not finna be worrying about if my brother come to my house. I'm not finna be worrying about if my brother called me. I'm not finna be worrying about if my sister called me. I'm not finna be worrying about my daughter that's at the University of Texas right now calling me. If I know, if I know I ain't got nothing, I'm gonna be focused on getting me something. I'm gonna be focusing on hanging around the right people, paying attention to the right words, hanging around the right people to get to where I need to get. Yeah, I might have to cut some people off. Cause guess what? If it's 5 of y'all and 4 of y'all broke, the next person is broke too. Broke people hang around broke people. Listen to the OG. So I don't want to be broke no more. And I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about a state of mind. Because when you're building wealth, when you're trying to turn nothing into something, it's a mind thing. It's a mind. It's who you hanging around, it's who you listening to, and what priorities do you have that don't need to be there. That's what it's about. It's not about the actual money, it's an action. And the way you move is an action. It's an action. Once I realized that, guess what? Changed my whole life. Little guys out here playing golf. So you got to put yourself around a certain type of environment that'll clear your mind, that you can breathe. And sometimes just cutting off from the negativity, cutting off from the bullshit and the bubble gum, you'll be able to breathe a whole lot better. You'll be able to breathe, right? You'll be able to think more clearly. And then you'll be able to focus on what you need to be focusing on, which is putting the work in. Which is putting the work in. Which is putting the work in. This is season 3, episode 103 of The Walk Down. And the title to this episode, Marathon Training, All Work, No Play. Appreciate y'all for joining me. I'm probably gonna go live a little later from the desk. Let me read some of these comments because this is the best chat room on the internet. Let's see. I gotta go, I can't see, guys. Can't see. Lorraine, hello Lorraine. Nobody took. Nobody took accordingly. Nice going, Panda. The smart bro. Breeze. What's up, Stock? What's up, Yaya? Thoughts on Palantir? Well, 187. Palantir had a good dump today. I really didn't. I've been doing a lot of things, as I've been explaining in this video. So I don't really know why Palantir took a big dive today. You know, I've been, like I said earlier, I got my daughter is just starting the University of Texas. I'm training for a marathon. I got a lot going on, so I ain't really been laser focused on Palantir like that. But I do know Palantir had a big dump, you know, and I would say it's a good time to probably pick up some shares and wait for the recovery. But I don't really know why the dump happened. But I'm all in on Palantir. I'm all in on NVIDIA. I'm all in on AMD. You know, all the AI stuff, I'm basically all in on that. Let's see. Yes. Hi. Beautiful. Count. Blessings. Buy crypto now. A marathon. Do you use those shoes that have wheels in the heel? No. Boots on the ground. Right. Yo, walking. Is this which country? Hi. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for joining me. Crypto, that's right. Bitcoin took a dump off the 124 highs. Yeah. I see my crypto and my stock market people come to rock with me on this walk down. This is season 3, episode 103. Marathon training. All work, no play. Eliminating the bullshit in the bubble gum. Yeah. That's what it's about, guys. So I think I'm ending right here. I will go back. I will come back later at the desk. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. This is the best chat room on YouTube, hands down. With that being said, I love and I appreciate y'all. Earn, spend less, and invest. And with that being said, this is the one and only Stock Sniper. To the next one, I'll be back, y'all, by 8 or 9 o'clock. I'm out.